Welcome back to the Junkman's Adventures, and finally, another motorcycle video. I know you guys have been waiting for them. Picked up a couple of Kawasaki's here, a couple more rotary valves. I want to show you how to identify them. We're going to see about getting them running and what parts they need. So come along, and we're going to take you all the way through it. Well, before we get to taking a look at these bikes, what they need, identifying them, I wanted to kind of tell you a little story about how I got come to acquire these bikes. Somebody contacted me knowing that I like to deal in old bikes, and kind of more specifically Kawasaki's, and they showed me some pictures, and this is the one that I really wanted for my collection. And this one, I wasn't really into, or this model isn't something that I necessarily wanted, but they said to get this one, I had to take this one. We dickered on it, and I came home with both of them, incidentally in my brand new trailer that I had, so I brought them home. So incidentally, that trailer, I'm going to make that into kind of a storage and mobile museum for hauling these things around. My other bikes that you've seen before, if you follow me. So get subscribed. I'm going to film converting that trailer into kind of a display trailer, and I got some neat ideas to customize it and such. So get subscribed so we can see some of that. Let's get down and let's take a look at these a little closer and see what they need. All right, looking up on the headstock, every motorcycle is going to have a frame number or a VIN if it's newer than 1982, and it's also going to have a build date. This one's 11 of 71, and the frame number is GA318860. We're going to use my website to go and find out all about this model. Oh yeah, we can also look at the engine number and reference that too. All right, we're over at the computer here. We're on my website, and if you didn't know, right here is the definitive Kawasaki database. I've created this to help people identify what models they have of Kawasaki rotary valve engines. All we have to do is, if we know the displacement, I have them categorized here by all the displacements and the single cylinders and also the twin cylinders. Now on my website, I have them categorized by the displacement for the single cylinders and the twin cylinders as well. And for us, we need the 90cc models. Here at the beginning of the page lists all the models that are discussed in this first page here, a little synopsis of the category and some of the notable models and such. But if you scroll down, we have carburetor settings, we have wiring diagrams for all the models that are talked about in here, things about ignition, and then we get to the model identifications here. Now, we're starting with oldest to newest, and we don't know exactly which models, so we're going to scroll down here and look and see. I have engine and frame numbers. We have pictures here. These come out of the identification guide. So as we scroll down here, we know we're looking for a frame number that starts with GA, so we can look. Well, here's our first one that starts with GA, 69 and 70, GA1. However, ours starts with a 3. This frame number starts with a 2. That's not our model. Keep moving along here. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. You can do this by looking at the engine numbers as well. Getting to here, G2S, that isn't. The frame number starts with GA there. And we get down here, KC90, that's a Eurospec model. We got to keep going here until we find it here. This looks like our paint scheme, red, graphics look similar, but the frame number, GA, and then 3, starts with 3, and then 30682 is where the frame number starts. And if you remember, ours is just after that. But is it a 73? No, because this starts GA32. That's how you can differentiate just by the model numbers, even if, because somebody could put a different tank and side covers or repaint it, or the tank is missing and things like that, so you can't identify it by the graphics, but you can by this. Same with the engine number. Our engine number is after this, but before this one, so we know it's a 1972 G3SS. B is the 1972 model. It's as easy as that. Okay, let's identify this bike here. This one's going to be a little bit easier here because we can see the graphic that says Trail Boss 10 speed. This is a 100cc model, but let's go up onto the frame and take a look at the tag up here. Its build date is 11/69. The frame number is G4003202. We'll go to the website and look it up. Let's go take a look at the engine number. This one is G4E003540. Back at the computer, we'll click on 100cc, and we can see G4TR Trail Boss because of the graphic. However, we can scroll down and wait till we find it here. G4 Trail Boss, 1970. Let's see. The TRA was 71. These go in sequential order. There's the Centurion, D1. So we know it is a 1970 because the frame number starts with G4 and 0 to 1. So ours was a fairly low frame number. Same with the engine number. And how we know it is a 1970 and not a 71 is because our engine and frame number are before these numbers. Now, incidentally, on this, the graphic is incorrect, printed in the identification guide. This has a picture of the 1971 model, but it's talking about the 1970 model. And this is the 1970 model. You can tell because of the graphics, but it's talking about the 1971 model. And I have that noted in my text here with extra information. So that's the benefit of going to my site when you don't exactly know what you have here, or if you're not familiar with Kawasaki's. You can go here and get a lot of information. Not only that, I have a lot of repair information specific for these models that is also on these pages for each displacement. Anyway, let's get back to the bikes and see if we can't get them running or something. Before we get started, I got to address something here. Buy the Bible. Well, all right, let's see if we can't get this thing started. First thing I'm going to do before I mess with anything else is I'm going to check for spark. These kind of bikes, and at this age, are notorious for parts degrading. This has points and condenser, and first things first, I want to see if those are any good. We'll take off the spark plug boot. We'll get our spark plug socket here and put it on there. This will also be a tell if somebody's screwed it with anything, or if they've over tightened it. Nope, it wasn't over tightened. And take a look at this spark plug when we get it out here. We'll see if see what it looks like. That'll tell us a little bit about maybe the condition. And looking at the spark plug here, looks pretty good. Not oil fouled, but not running lean. Looks just about right. So I don't see any obvious engine damage from that. So put the spark plug in there. Let's see, it wants to lay on that side. So we'll do that. Next thing is we'll just kind of kick it a little, see if it's free. Oh, yep, it's free. So it's not stuck. Of course, I checked that before. Let's check and see if we got some spark. All right, we're going to check for some spark here. Hopefully it's dark enough it'll pick up there. Let's see. That should be off. Let's see, that should be run on the key. Let's kick it. Wow, that's a lot of spark. That was real bright. Let me do it again, see if you can see it. Wow, really good. Well, this one's going to be easier than I thought, because I quite frankly thought we were going to have to do points and condensers. Let's see. That's probably the actual run position. Okay, yep. And then that should be off. Yep, no spark there. Kickstand's hitting the exhaust over here. We'll have to deal with that. But we got spark, so we can move on to the carburetor. Well, we know we got spark. Let's move on to the carburetor here. And on rotary valves, if you're, or Kawasaki's with rotary valves, the carburetor is behind this cover here, if you're unfamiliar. This is the newer design. It's got 4 bolts up here that clamp the carburetor top where these cables go through, because that's got a seal. Earlier bikes didn't. This just held in there and they kind of leaked. The other bike has that version. But, so we got to take all these bolts off and these couple of case bolts. I can tell somebody's been in here because they didn't use the right size screwdriver, and but let's see. This is a JIS, a proper one for these large ones here. And yeah, somebody's been in here because these come off real easy. All right, well, just snug those back up because we got to take these off here. And I have to use a smaller screwdriver. Let's see. Oh, those will come out real easy. And these are in good enough shape to put back in here for just a rider. If we're going to do a full-on restoration, we'd want to replace these and make them look all nice. But I think this one, I haven't decided exactly how far I'm going to go with it, but because it's in such original condition and only missing the front fender and whatnot, so we'll do that. All right, about ready to take the cover off. We'll see what other problems may lie in here. Since we got spark, maybe it might not be that hard. So, and there's a gasket there. Again, when we get running here. Oh yeah, all that old gas. That's the other thing. There's gas in this old tank, so I'm not going to even try and turn that petcock and get that off there. Let's see these. Oh, that's right. There. Oh, and somebody put some duct tape because there's supposed to be a plug there. So we have to get in from there, take that off, and then oh, fuel line is barely. Ooh. Ugh. Yep. Old gas. I better get a pan. Okay, we got a pan here. First thing we got to do is, maybe this screwdriver's too big. Yep, nope. There we go. There's a clamp on the other side of this. So hopefully we got that loosened. There. Because we got to pry that little bit out. See if we can get it to wiggle. Because there's kind of a rubber thing on the bottom. We need to break that loose, but we want to be careful here. There. You can just sometimes pry just a little bit because it's gonna pull straight out. You can kind of wiggle. With any luck, it'll start coming. Just wiggle it, and here it's coming. Just take your time with this because these carburetors are. Pull the fuel line up and out, just out of here. Might have to cut that off. Actually, oh, there we go. Got it. As you see, there's a little kind of phenolic resin seal in there, and then this is the clamp, and then we can raise this up. Again, these rubber parts are going to be stiff. You don't want to force them, so we can do that. See if we can get the carb top. Probably going to have to get a pair of pliers and a wrench, but yeah, this was, and this kind of holds the bottom, and then this is your overflows. When you tip the bike over, or if it floods, then it doesn't go all out in the carburetor chamber here. There's also a little screen and a drain there for just regular water. So we'll take that off. We want to save that. That's actually in really good shape. Then we'll take this to the bench and get her fully stripped down. All right, got the carburetor up here. Let's see if we can get these bowl screws out without having to get the impact driver out. Oh, geez, these weren't hardly, that one wasn't hardly tight. Okay, well, if these wouldn't come, I wouldn't mess around with this screwdriver, and I'd get my little impact driver and the proper JIS bit for this. But these are, well, I can tell there's varnish, but they're coming out. So And I see somebody's had this apart once before, so we'll see what we got in here. I mean, I know it's going to be a mess, but and it'll need some soaking, so we're not getting this started. Not getting this started right now until we get this carburetor sorted out. Okay, we've got the screws out. Let's. A lot of times you just, again, want to be as careful as possible. Sometimes that works, or take a little thwacker like this, rubber mallet side. There. Sometimes just a few little whacks, but you don't want to do it too hard. That will get it. Yeah, carburetor bowl looks to be expected there. So that's going to need. Let's see here, floats. Yeah, needles. Well, needle would have been. Yeah, needle stuck. It's gummy. Yeah, it's just real gummy in here. I see somebody's been using premix. Even though the oil pump looks like it's hooked up and working. Let's take this float apart and then let's get the jets out. Pull a little pin here. I'll lose it. Can't really tell, but these look in good shape, like they shouldn't be have any holes. Looks like the solder joints are looking good. We'll leave those alone. Let's pull the needle out here, and it doesn't have the Viton tip. Let's see. Yeah, the little spring is stuck in there. Let's see if we can get it moving. Otherwise, we're definitely going to be soaking. Let's see. Push. Okay. Yeah, and it didn't want to spring back, so it's good and stuck in there. We might be replacing it. Well, I got it to move, but oh, there we go. Got it unstuck, but that needs soaked. Alrighty. Gasket I'm not going to try and remove right now, but let's get that jet out. Let's get the jet out of there. 6mm socket for these kind of jets. Ooh, and well, it's kind of stuck in there, but we got it. They make a jet wrench for this, but this works as well. Hard to say, but it might actually not have been clogged, but we're still going to soak it. And then the pilot jet. Let's see. You don't want to bust this. I mean, I have a video of getting these out stuck, but if it's stuck in there, but it's kind of very risky. Seems like I got it free. It's coming. Okay. Oh, not so bad. There. And yeah, not too bad, but there's a little bit of corrosion. Yeah, that one was plugged, so it wasn't going to run. So, alright, well, got the starter, they call it the starter. The enrichment plunger came out easy. Let's see if we can't get this gasket up. Carburetor kits for these are plentiful and easy to come by, so if I ruin this gasket, I'm not too worried, but I kind of want to save it so I don't have to wait on parts if I do get this back together. just to get it running. This will work, but we'll replace this eventually too. So there's that gasket. All right, and I guess we could take off this banjo bolt here. Let's see if we can just get it with a, what is this, a 13? 12. Just because when we soak it, we want every passage to get cleaned out. So there we go. There's little washers here, and there's some gunk in there. All right, I mean that's pretty much all we can do. All you need to do to tear it down to give it a good cleaning. I mean, we could take that out. Take the seat out, good old 8mm for that, because we might just replace the needle and seat. They're inexpensive as well, but for now we can take it out. Little fiber washer there, make sure that comes up. Yep, and it had some gunk, was partially clogged. So yeah, well, that's all there is to these carburetors, and most carburetors are simple like this. So we'll get this in some dip, let it soak for a while before we can put it back together. But I need to look into that engine over there. Okay, we got the carburetor off, and I kind of see maybe why this wasn't running, or somebody got rid of it. It's hard to see. There's a little piece of something in there that's loose. I can move it around with a screwdriver. And also, when I kick it around, I don't see the rotary valve, closing off that. So I'm wondering if it exploded in there, because this model, these early models, especially the small displacement ones, have a phenolic resin or fiber rotary valve, not steel. The later ones had a steel one, and I'm thinking that's why this one is parked. So this might not be as easy as just clean up the carburetor and make a run. Looks like I'm going to have to take this off and get in there a little bit farther. All right, we got all that cleaned up. We got the engine here. I pulled out these little two pieces of metal, but I've been messing around, and now the engines can't kick it. Well, there must have been a little piece in there that just happened to fly in there. But I wasn't kicking with my hand, I was just rolling it easy. So I got to take this cylinder off. We got to get that out of there. Hopefully I'm not seeing a broken piston. I got to maybe investigate why I didn't see the rotary valve opening and closing, meaning it's probably disintegrated in there. So this is going to be a larger project. So I guess I failed for this video. I thought this one was going to be an easy get her going type of video, but we're going to have to work on this a little bit. So that means there's going to be more content coming your way. So hey, I have channel memberships. Did you know that? If you've stayed this long into the video, check below. You can join and become a member as little as $1. It helps support and make content like this, and just kind of gives a thanks to me, saying, hey, you like this content. By the way, there is a thing called thanks, where you can do a one-time donation of whatever you feel like. If something I've shown you here or in one of my previous videos helped you out. So do that. Get subscribed. Hit that notification bell, because I got, well, obviously more coming with this video, and we got a whole other bike to mess with, and also that trailer too. That's going to be an ongoing series. But don't let this fool you. We'll be able to get this running, I'm pretty certain. It's just going to take a little more time and probably a little more money than I anticipated. And isn't that how it always goes? So until next time, I'm the Junk Man. Get subscribed, and thanks for watching.